Hey, and welcome to another episode of Real Conversation. I'm your host, Nicole Jones,
And I'm Quana Terry.
and we have a great show lined up for you tonight. But before we get started, okay, I got to find out how my girl over there is doing. What up, Quana? What's going, girl? You looking fabulous as always.
Thank you so much. So are you?
Thank you.
I'm doing okay. A bit tired today, but that's to be expected considering everything that's happening right now. But for the most part, I'm good. I'm just here. We have so many wonderful things to talk about, so I'm excited to talk about them. But before we do, how are you?
I'm good. The
Yeah.
same. I'm glad that I'm not as tired as I've been these past few days. So I'm well rested today. But other than that, everything is going good. So that's a good thing.
Okay, well, that's a really good thing. And we hope that all of you out there in Real Conversation Land are doing amazing and that you're drinking your water and your mind's in your business. Because if you're not, we're going to talk about you. We're going to have a real conversation about you. So make sure that you're drinking your water and you're minding your business. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get started, Nicole. Oh my gosh, we have had so many calls and text messages really about the celebrity deaths that happened over this past week. One in particular, our fave, right?
Yeah.
He's always going to be known as Theo, but Malcolm Jamal Warner. You may, of course, know him from The Cosby Show. Oh my gosh. He passed away this past, I believe it was either Wednesday. I think it was on Wednesday or Tuesday.
Yeah, like 2 days ago.
So, and Nicole,
No, it was Tuesday. Yeah, 2 days
Tuesday,
ago.
right?
Mhm.
What are the particulars surrounding his death?
So basically, as more information comes out, they basically stated that he was in what was that, Costa Rica, right, with his family, with a family vacation, and him and his daughter was swimming, and they got caught by like one of those, what's that, like a rip tide or something like that, and the water took them out. There was a surfer who saved his daughter, but when they got to pull out Malcolm Jamal Warner, they literally did CPR on him for like 45 minutes, and he was already gone. He was, dead on arrival. Well, on the scene.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is just so sad.
yeah,
That's so sad. I know that there was chit chat surrounding whether or not there was a lifeguard on duty and stuff like that. And I'm like, you're in Costa Rica. If you're not at a resort or something like that, where they can monitor you, monitor the waves, or
hmm
sorry, monitor the water. I don't know if they're going to have lifeguards on the beach. I don't know. Um,
I think so.
but it's just really, really a sad thing because he was so young. How old was he?
54.
54 years old. So much more life to live. Um, but you know what? I know that God has a plan. I know He does. Certain plans I don't understand. But everything works together for our good. So I'm pretty sure that there is some reason, some some reason why this has happened. But it's a warning to all of us, right? To make sure that we are taking precaution when we're going to these other countries and even at home, taking precautions because a riptide can come just out of nowhere, and sometimes the most avid swimmer can be taken under. So it's important for us to take precaution.
So I want to say something. I can swim, extremely well, but it doesn't matter how well I can swim. The one thing that people, mess up when it comes to a riptide or undercurrents or anything like that, because the water can look extremely calm. Um, you're not supposed to swim against it because your body's going to become extremely tired. And what you do is, I heard this from someone else, but I've heard it years ago, but I did not remember it until I
Mhm.
heard it the other day. So
Mm.
you swim diagonally across. That brings you back towards the beach versus
Okay.
being pulled back out to sea. So just understand, don't go against it because you're not going to win
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
all. Just swim diagonal, and then you end up going right back to where you came from.
Mm. I don't know if I would even think about that while I am in, in duress, right? I don't know. Hopefully that all my senses will kick in, and I'm like, okay, remember your training. Hopefully that happens, but sometimes it's not something that you think about. You know what I'm saying? While you're
Yeah.
going through that,
And there's one more thing that they said. They said you should always, when you're in the sea, you should
Uh-huh.
always wear a life jacket. And that's one thing we don't do. When we go to the beach, no one is thinking about wearing a life jacket. We
Oh
will
no,
put one on our kids.
I puts on the life jacket. If it's available,
And
I put
one.
it on. Yeah.
I do not. I just get in the water. I swim, but I don't go against the current though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've seen me swim. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like I literally do not go against the current. I'm, you know, doing what I do. But I haven't been in a situation where, you know,
Yeah,
like my
it's
sister,
just
my
it's
mom
just
or
sad,
whatever.
you know.
Yeah.
It really is sad. But like I said, it definitely teaches us, or actually brings some awareness to what we should be doing while we are out in the ocean. It brings some awareness to us in regards to that, so we can take the extra precaution. Because you said, a lot of people do not wear the life jackets on the beach. I know when we were in Honduras, I wore no life jacket. I didn't feel like I was unsafe. I went as far. I didn't go all the way out. Right. I went as far as I thought was safe. And then
Mm-hmm.
it was like, all right. As soon as it started to get crazy, I was like, let me reel my behind on back. But
All right, because you did come out there where we were, and then you ended up heading back the other way. But
nah.
just like in Honduras, the ground, there was some areas when there was no bottom. So we literally walked where there was ground because yeah, you can swim and all,
Yeah.
but you're in the ocean
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
the water was calm over there too.
It was very calm, but it's just in a blink of an eye. It takes for you to actually lose your footing or something and then go down.
Hmm.
And in this particular case, I don't know how many people were out there with him, but we were out there with a bunch of people. So
Yeah.
we're looking like, hey, where's this person? Where's that person? We're looking for one another while we're out there.
So I'm glad you brought that up because I was a little alarming about. They said that his wife, he went out swimming. This is before they said his daughter was with them.
Okay.
He went out swimming and his wife noticed he was gone for like an hour and a half or something like that. And then that's when she started looking for him. But see, later on you heard he was out there swimming with his daughter. So
Mm,
that could be a reason why, she's relaxing, probably reading a book, doing whatever, and realizing, wait, they ain't come back yet?
yeah. Yeah. I know
This
we
is
always have our
sad.
eye on each other. We're at I get it. We were at the beach, and you're sitting in your chair, you got your sunglasses on, reading
Mm-hmm.
your book, or you just sunbathing, and then you're like, dang, what time is it? Where's everyone? You get up and
Mm-hmm.
walk over to your people. So
Yeah.
I understand that, and it's something that we all would have done.
Yeah.
But oh gosh, our hearts and prayers go out to Malcolm Jamal Warner and his family. Hopefully, some comfort is provided to them, and they healed through this process. But not only did he pass, but we had other celebrities this week. It seemed to come like back to back, and I'm like, what is going on? I think that we had Hulk Hogan, right? Ozzy Osbourne. Wait a minute.
I told you were
I know him.
that was Phoebe husband on the craft.
But not only he was in something else.
He plays in a lot of stuff, but that's what came to my
Recently.
mind. He was the one who played the demon that married Phoebe.
There you go. Oh gosh. What is
I
his
said
name?
the craft. That's not the craft. I'm sorry.
It was I know what you're talking about. It was with the three power three, whatever. Charmed. Charmed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I'm like power three, power three. Yeah, we knew them. We knew them. Charmed. What is his name? I can't see that.
okay, I'm sorry,
Let's look
guys.
this thing up. So
I'm gonna just get it up. I'm gonna just get it up on my phone so I can see it a little clearer. His name is Julian McMahon.
Okay. Oh,
I think I said that right. If I butchered it, I'm so sorry.
that is so sad. And how did he pass away?
I do not know how he passed away.
Okay.
But I just found out about him, and I just found out about actually all three of them.
Mm-hmm.
Hulk Hogan, Julian McMahon, and Ozzy Osbourne.
His name is Julian McMahon. Okay.
McMahon.
Yes, that is McMahon, like Ed McMahon, ma'am. I don't know.
That is not how you spell McMahon.
Yes, it is. The Australian.
They made that up.
No,
that is not how you spell McMahon.
Hold on, let me look at this. Died Clearwater. How did he pass away? So sad. Cause of death for Julian McMahon. Oh, he had cancer. Let's see, head and neck metastatic cancer. Yeah, that's so sad. Cancer is taking everybody.
So what about I think Hulk Hogan.
What I remember him from is Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
That's another one. But like I said, Charm is the one that came to my head like that.
Yes, I get that. But like I remember, I was like, I seen him in something recently and I could not remember. Fantastic Four, they just reported it here. And he's
in a lot of things.
He had cancer. That is so sad.
What about Hulk Hogan? Did Hulk Hogan have a heart attack?
Hulk Hogan. I don't know if Hulk Hogan had a heart attack. Let me just look here.
Let me see, because I know this was sent to me today. That's how I found out about Hulk Hogan today.
He was 71.
Yeah, he lived a good life.
Yeah, cardiac arrest. Sure.
Yeah.
There were no signs of foul play or suspicious activity. Okay.
Listen. And I grew up on Hulk Hogan, okay? I watched wrestling for him, Mr. T. Remember all of them back in the days on Saturday, and after that we watched Saturday Night Live. Yep. Okay? That was just it. Like, I can't believe. And he looked really good, and I know, he looked good in this picture that I seen. But I'm like, not Hulk Hogan. And I know he's 71, but still, no.
That's still young. 71 is very young to actually to pass away. That's a very, very, very young time. So very young age. So, well, our hearts and prayers go out to Hulk Hogan, Julian McMahon's family, and also
that's not his name.
The Osbourne family.
What happened to him?
I believe that Ozzy Osbourne had some sort of what do you call that? Parkinson's. But
I do remember that.
Drug use also attributed to the progression of the disease.
From
that.
Yeah, he did drugs years ago, but for a long time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
for sure. So he passed away. So we have Malcolm Jamal Warner. He's gonna be missed. Theo. I'm always going to remember him by the Gordon Gartrell shirt that
oh my goodness, that was funny. And also when they were singing Night and Day.
Yes, Night and Day. So our hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to everyone from that has passed away. Ozzy Osbourne, Hulk Hogan, Michael Jamal Warner, and then actor Julian McMahon. So
that is not his name, man.
Well, okay, listen, I'm gonna need you to look that up, and then you could let me know.
I'm gonna look it up
before the ends. Okay.
I mean, if it is his name, I did apologize for butchering his name.
I'm telling you, because if you look
Okay,
up Ed McMahon, that's how you spell it. I'm telling you.
we know how to spell McMahon. That's not it.
So yeah, but that's that. All right. So then, okay, there was something where they're talking about Uber, right? Uber's going to try to let women only request women drivers. First of all, I don't even think there's enough women drivers out there for you to be able to request that. But okay.
Actually, there are a lot of women drivers out there, and I think it's a safety precaution because of all the. Remember that there was a few women who ordered an Uber and they were, an issue happened with the driver.
Okay, so
They were sexually assaulted by the driver.
Okay, and then
Yeah, so
that's
I
actually
can understand that.
out now for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so I can understand why they want to, do this, but and maybe more women will, start driving for Uber, if they can drive women. You never know. Because I mean, you think about it. If there's someone that's not working and they actually get this opportunity to make money by driving Uber, which is it's not a bad job. I know some drivers that make really good money. Actually, we know somebody personally from the neighborhood who, remember I told you, who dropped me off that time, make really good money, but that was like a side job for him.
Mm-hmm.
They make really, really good money. So and I guess it depends on how long you're out there.
Yeah.
So if they can sit there and do that, and then if all they want to do is pick up women because it's a safety issue,
yeah,
here's an idea.
I get it. I like that they offer the women only options for both passenger and driver.
Yeah.
So they're not discriminating against, the safety of the driver as well. So I like that.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens with that. I'm going to assume there's going to be more to come on that. This is just being developed right now, so I know there's going to be more to come. But I kudos to Uber for even thinking about that, and I'm pretty sure that Lyft will follow suit as well in the near future. So we'll see what happens. But I think that it's a great change to the app, a great idea for those who would want, you want to feel safe when you're riding, especially if you are going long distance. I know I've taken the Uber to an airport before and long distance from where I am to another state. And listen, you want to be comfortable in that thing, and then you also want to feel like you are safe, so well, kudos to Uber for that. So hopefully that they roll it out and all the other apps follow suit. All right, Nicole, what's going on? What else you got, baby?
Oh my goodness. So I don't know if you guys heard about this guy who just got arrested out in South Carolina. This man knowingly infected, a woman who was 7 months, pregnant, is with his child with HIV. Now it's crazy because it's saying that, he was arrested and he basically told the cops that he admitted to not telling her because he didn't want her to know. Like, men, what are you doing? Like, I don't understand this part. There are so much drugs that are out there right now that prevents your partner from contracting what you've contracted. It's the omitting part for me. Like, why wouldn't you be honest? What is wrong with these? And it's not just men, because I'm sure there's women out there doing it. So I don't want to sit here and attack men. It's just individual, whoever the person who's carrying this virus. It is you have to do. Girl, I am so choked up by this. I'm sorry, because I'm just agitated by this whole situation. So now she's pregnant. Now she has HIV, and it's very possible the child's going to have HIV.
you know, stories like this just put me in a different headspace. The fact that you knowingly or he knowingly slept with multiple women um, without divulging his status is just something that is it's I just feel I feel like he's just really that's attempted murder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though HIV has, the medicines for HIV has made, strides. There's so many advances in the medication that they give that allow for you to live a long life. But you chose for me. In this case, he chose for these women that he infected. He chose for them to carry this disease, this illness, and without regard for their lives or anybody. What if they have children? And you don't know if someone has an underlying condition that actually would even be able to, deal with the effects of HIV as a disease, and then the medication that they take. You don't know if a person is able to even deal with that. So the fact that you selfishly went into these relationships or went into these nights of passion, knowingly exposing these women is just horrible, and I feel like he should be jailed. He needs to stay jailed, and he needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Agreed. I'm with you 100%.
Because
It
that's
doesn't. He don't. He needs the book to be thrown at him. That's
and this
it.
child. I agree with you, Nicole. But this is the reason why we as women, I'm a single woman, and this is the reason why it's like, okay, I need to make sure that these people, their status is all right. We go into the clinic together.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. We're going to the clinic together, or we're going to, we're going to get our test done, and we're going to show each other our results, and not in no paper that you could have doctored up. No, log into your little my chart and let me see what that thing say. And I want to watch you log in, because some people do crazy stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
With the results. So, but like I said, I think that he should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, being that he knowingly exposed these women to HIV. They all have it. And then, oh my gosh, the one with the child that's pregnant with his child, like, you don't even know how that's going to affect the child when the child is born. Now, she has HIV, but now what about the child? It's going to be, by God's grace, it may not even be passed on to. But if it is, then that child has to be born with that. And like I said, I know strides being made for the illness, but who even wants to deal with that? Why do I have to deal with even getting medication and going to doctor's appointments because of somebody else's negligence? I don't like
And
it.
then the thing is, because you said, like, when you're dating somebody, right? But this man was clearly in a relationship with one of them, at least. Clearly.
Yeah.
So it's not even just people that you just met. You got to worry about people who you're in the relationship with.
All right, because
and that's the sad part. Like, these people are not even thinking when it comes to the people who they have at home.
Yeah.
You sit up there and you're sleeping with these other women with no protection, and then when you go home, you go and do the same thing because Lord behold, she thinks that you're just dealing with her because we live together. Like, come on, you got to be like, I don't understand. Why is it that people can't just be honest? Where did the honesty come? Like, it just went out the window. Everybody want to lie now, just to have fun. And he's not even the prettiest mother sucker.
Listen,
how the hell you sit up there infecting all these people? First of all, how are y'all even allowing this man to enter y'all sanctuary?
Listen,
dog.
There's somebody for everybody. Yeah, his face is a bit unkind, but there's somebody for everyone out here. So I can't even say that. Like, I've seen dudes pull women and even women pull certain men. I'm like, whoa, okay. You know, I mean, so there's somebody for everybody, but even so, regardless of that, of the way he looks, I feel as if, like you said, people lie a lot, and some people really don't understand that lying could potentially cost somebody their life. And it's not fun and games out here, especially with these illnesses that are potentially life threatening. So
Right.
it really sucks, and I'm hopefully all these women are able to move past this, and I'm hoping that they don't become bitter, because you hear those stories about women who are upset, or people who are upset that they've gotten HIV from unknowingly from someone that knew that they had it, and then they go on this rampage, right? Because you think about it, he exposed multiple women to HIV, mind you. What about the women? What about the people that those women were sleeping with, and the people that those other people were sleeping with? And hopefully, they're not sleeping with each other, without protection. But if they are now, and if they're cheating on their partners and stuff like that, now it's all spreading across across the world. And a lot of people don't like to get their sexual health checked, so they go out and just do certain things. And I'm like, it really
world that we live in right now.
yeah. And I think one of the guys on my page, he had posted something about STDs, and I'm like, listen, I'm walking around with my results. Like, okay, let me see yours. Like, I'm not playing around with these people. I know my status, and I need to put like hashtag know your status, because people are bugging. Okay,
I was about to say you walking around like the COVID ID card that you got the COVID.
Oh, that's called. Let me see yours. Let me see yours. And that's me signing into my mod chart. But even so, it's like even if you just got it done, a month ago, it's great to get it checked up on, before you even become sexually active with someone, so that both of y'all know that, okay, hey, listen, we're good. If I don't have it, and you don't have anything, and then somebody end up with it, who was cheating or what you do? You know what I'm saying?
I actually know someone who, whenever she ended up, dating someone new, apparently they have like a testing kit at like a Walgreens or like CVS or whatever, where you can get a rapid test for HIV.
Yeah, just like
I was like,
test. Them joints, what if it's not working properly? Nope. I'm going to the clinic.
I'm just saying, like, you should still do what Shaquana is saying.
Yeah.
But for any reasons, because it's worked for her, And the last person that she did it with, they've been in a committed relationship, I believe, for like 8 to almost 10 years now.
Yeah, but that was just for HIV, right?
I believe so. I don't quote me on that, but I believe she did the HIV test. I'm not too sure about it. It could have been the other ones. I'm not too sure.
Okay, listen,
I've never done it myself. I've never seen it. I don't even know what it looks like, but I know she told me about it because she did it several times.
Yeah, I need syphilis. I need HIV. I need, what are other ones? I need gonorrhea. I need herpes.
Everything.
Well, I need everything.
Everything. Even the ones that they just came up with. I need it all. Okay. I need to know every
I need
little
to know it. I need to know it. I need everything that you got out there. Okay, that's what I need.
And women, it is okay. If something going on down there, get yourself a mirror, okay? Get the one that, the one that says 10x, so you can see what's going on. Take a picture, do a video. Examine yourself. Get to know who you are and know what your stuff look like. Yeah. So when something goes wrong, go to that doctor. And you should be going to the doctor once a year if you have one partner. If you have more than one partner, it's every 6 months, like 4 to 6 months. Go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're good. And men, y'all need to go to the urologist, okay? Y'all got a GYN, it's called a urologist. Go get your manhood checked. Mm-hmm. Make sure he good. So when you go in and invested in, with someone else, everything is Gucci.
Yep. Listen, child. Listen. It's important, and I think that a lot of people don't really understand the importance of it, and a lot of people out here playing Russian roulette with their lives. Right. And I'm not doing that. I'm not that person. I'm not playing Russian roulette. I was like, all right, you know what? Let me check myself. Let me make sure I'm good. Let me make sure. And if you don't want to get checked, then I'm sorry. You know you don't want to.
Right.
If you don't want to get your driver's license, sorry, you don't get to test drive the vehicle. Okay, period. So,
Just like those deuces. I'm
so
out.
yeah, I know I want to follow this story because I want to see what he gets. I hope they lock his ass up for a very long time. And on each count for whoever the women are, and hopefully
Well,
they come forward for
that's what I was going to say. I hope they all come forward, whoever it is.
yeah, for every single woman that he has exposed and has given this to. I hope he gets you know a
10
sentence
or plus years.
to count.
10 or plus years for each woman.
Yes,
So
yes.
you can't come out again.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, that I don't know. So we, whew, that just burns my buns. I'm not even gonna lie. Just like
Hmm.
why? Some people they just lie all the time, and it's annoying. It's like, come on, if you're not gonna care about at least try to care about somebody else. But guess what? If people don't care about themselves and what they have to lose, they're not going to care about you.
Right.
No, they're not. So
It is sad.
get somebody that's equally yoked with. Get someone that cares about themselves, that handle themselves with care. They're going to handle you with care. So in that
Yeah.
family. All right. The last thing that we're going to talk about is the T app. And Nicole, I'll let you your story. I want to let you take that one there.
So apparently, we now have this T app that it's in the App Store, and it's supposed to be number one in the App Store right now, guys. This is basically to help women. As you can see up there, it says dating safety tools that protects women. It's basically women posting men that they've dealt with, so you can go and look your man up to see if they're on that app, and you get all the do's and the don'ts about that person. Now, the crazy thing is, as great as this app sounds, I also heard a counter video today by a woman that said, "Okay, ladies, as great as this app is, let's hope that these men don't decide to create an app for you." And there are some shiesty men out there, but there are also some shiesty women. Okay, so but this right here, it could be a good tool if you're using it in the proper way. But I'm more concerned with women that's going to lie about the men that they've been with, just so they can't move on with someone else. What do you think, Shaquana?
And women that go into a man, right? They be like, no,
Yeah.
you can't go. And that's my fear. Premise of the app, the reason for it, I feel the purpose of it, I should say, is great because it allows you to see if the person that you were dating is maybe a sex offender because they have that part on there as well. Whether a sex offender, whether they've been arrested before and why. I feel like the purpose of it has good intentions, but I also feel like there are women who will utilize it to spread misinformation about a man that they can no longer have. And that's one of the cons that I'm like, I love the fact that when you go into the app, now I haven't gone in, I just kind of played around a little bit. They verify if you are a woman. Okay. And they take a selfie of you. They make you take a selfie to ensure that you are a woman, just in case you're a man trying to go in there and see what the hell's up. You can't do that. I mean, you probably have your sister do it or whatever, but I mean, is it really that serious? It may be, especially if you are someone who is a freaking narcissist, and you out here doing all these different stuff to women and men, because some of y'all be on the DL. Don't act like you're not. You're out here doing all these things to women and men and thinking that you're getting away with it. And I think this app gives women a voice. Now, your lady that you just talked about, she has a point because these men that will do the same exact thing, spread misinformation about women because they can no longer have them.
But
So it's the thing, you know.
so it's so crazy because you and I were speaking about this like months ago.
Mm.
They're on TikTok. There's a similar page. It's a page though, and there are women up there posting up the men's picture and putting exactly what's wrong. If it's a narcissist, if that person gave someone, the herpes virus, if the person is a woman beater, like it's like right across the picture what they are, and I'm like, and it tells you where the person is located, like what state they located in, and I'm like, oh my god, someone sent that to me. Remember, you and I was speaking about that? We was talking about it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy, but again, what if these women are lying about these men?
Yeah, that's my concern. It's like, you know, I'm all for exposing folk. I'm all for it. You know, I just want people to be honest with the exposure, and
Yes.
that's not something that you can control. Again, we talked about scorned lovers who will go to great lengths to make sure that the person that no longer wants them is ridiculed and and harassed and humiliated online. They go to great lengths to do so, and that's my primary concern. But overall, I believe that the app is a great tool to use to ensure that you're not dating someone who was a rapist. Now, people can conform, but people can't conform. People can change. I'm not going to say that they cannot, but I need to be given that choice to whether or not I want to deal with that person. Because I mean, you know what I'm saying. So they got women beaters and stuff like that. You know how many people abuse their wives in private?
Yeah.
Abuse their wives in private.
Yeah, we know a lot of them.
We know a lot of people like that. A lot of manipulators and things of that nature.
Yeah.
And do they deserve to be exposed? Yeah, they do. But they should be exposed in a way that is, and not just being gangster or manipulated. So
And it's more just to help people, not to sit there and try to tarnish someone. You know what I mean? Because I am a firm believer that, a person can be a different person with a different individual. Like what he might be with you, he might not be with that next person.
right.
So don't condemn someone for their past. You know what I mean? Especially if they've grown from that. They learned the mistake and grew. Like, don't condemn them, but also that person should be, giving out that information. Previously, I went through this, I got some help, and I'm not that person anymore. And I allow that person to, make the decision to be with you,
Yeah.
so that way something like that won't be so surprising to them, because you already know.
Absolutely.
But then there's different, obviously different cases or whatever.
I agree with that. Like you said, some people everyone's a different person with their mate, right? It just depends. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but you bring out certain in somebody else that somebody else out, So that person may have been immature, insensitive, 10 years ago, but now they're the most loving and kind and mature person you could ever meet. But just because you got them when they were going through their growing pains doesn't give you the right to go out and spread false narratives about them to others as if this is who they are now. And especially if you haven't even been in contact with a person in 3-4 years, like how the hell you know who that person is, right? At this very moment, it's like,
or if like what you just said, let's say it's because, let's say he's with this person here, he didn't commit, but then he gets with the next person and he actually commit. That just means, sweetheart, you're not his person. Even if, let's say, you are his person and he chose the wrong person, then that's his lesson to learn, and you're going to get someone even better.
Right.
So you don't have to be bitter and tarnish him because he didn't commit to you. And I'm just using that as an example.
Right, because that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to be all up in there. I'm telling you. There was another app that they had years ago, but they got that joint shut down. Okay. All over Reddit right now, they're talking about the T app. The guy's like, "This is crazy. This is now the number one app on the on the Apple Store." Oh, he's going in. And, he's just like, "This is crazy." And I'm like, so one guy, he's like, "Report it here." So he like leaves a link where you can report the app and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, poor baby. But literally, it does. One of the gentlemen mentioned this kind of like puts a strain on the single men out here who are trying to find somebody, but because it didn't work out with a person, and they're upset, like you said, they're just not, you're just not my person. So because you're upset that I'm saying that you're not my person, now you want to go on a smear campaign and do all these different things to me. And it's like, that's messed up.
On the other side of that too, if you did do it, be accountable for your actions.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Please be accountable for your action. If you mess someone up, if you mess someone's head up, then that's on you, dog.
Sure.
Just know that.
Some of these men have liabilities. Some of these men have liabilities. I'm telling you, they lie like they breathe. I'd be like,
my favorite thing. They lie like a Persian rug.
Yeah, they lie like they breathe. Like, why you always lying? Why you always lying? Randy say that. God rest his soul. He's like, they lie.
Oh.
Hey,
man. I just heard him saying it.
Why you always lying? He's like,
oh my God, that's crazy.
Oh gosh, we had so much fun. But yeah, I feel as if, like I said, it's a great resource. I really do feel like that. Like I said, you can report, you can see if anybody was a criminal, whether or not they were a sex offender, whether they're a registered sex offender. There's so many great things about the app, but those are the pros. There's also cons about it, whereas people will actually try to sabotage people for malicious intent, and that's not what it's there for. So hopefully, we can sift through that and get the right information about the person that you want to date. Me personally, I'm not using it. Okay, if I got to do all of that,
I don't need it.
I'm just not. I'm not doing it. I could just tell you my story. I'll tell you this niggas ain't shit. I could just tell you that. but I could also say he wasn't nothing with me. He didn't treat me well. Maybe you have a better experience.
We didn't work together. We wasn't meant to be a couple, and it's okay.
We were oil and water. Okay, we just didn't work out. However, it may work out for you. But I'm not putting
you all the best.
Right, because I'm not putting that man on no app. I'm just not. I'm not doing
it. Ladies, there's this thing called karma.
I was doing that because I don't want it to come to me, because I'm doing it with malicious intent, right? Mm-hmm. If I do that with malicious intent, it may not come back to me, but it's gonna come back somewhere else, and I don't want it to do that. So I'm gonna just let people do what they do. You find out on your own, sis. I'm sorry. You find out on your now. If there's something that really is something that needs to be shared, then okay, I would share it, and I would say, but please do your own due diligence. Okay, and find out for yourself.
People do background checks all the time on the person that they're dating, and by all means, do that background. Yeah, people do background checks. Like when you're initially meeting somebody, you need to know that person is Gucci with you, right? That you want to go forward with them, which is fine. Yeah. Do that, But then you also know that you're not going to find everything on that background check. You're not a detective or nothing like that. So when you're in their vicinity, that's how you get to know a person. When you're around them, when you see the real them, you get to know who that person is.
Yeah.
So and the pretender, that mask comes off, because we gotta wait until the mask come off to really get to know a person.
Yeah,
And
some people live with a mask for 20 years, child.
listen, I was about to say that.
People.
Listen, you gotta listen. People be in relationships with a person, and all you seen was their representative. Like, when do we let down our guard? When do we allow a person to get to know the real us? If you can't do that, baby girl, brother man, you need to just stay to yourself. Go be a hermit, okay? Watch your movies, read your books, play your little games on your own videos, do all that. Don't mess with somebody's head, okay? Don't sit here and make someone believe that you're just this great individual and you're a whole what, narcissist?
Child.
Or have the narcissistic traits or whatever.
Well,
Because
maybe
we're not doctors, so we can't call people narcissists.
listen, maybe this app will cut down on that issue, right? So listen, ladies, go check out the T. Go check out the app. See if your significant other is on that, John. Okay.
Ooh, child.
Sign in. You need to sign in. You have to actually take a selfie for you to be able to access it as a woman, and play around with it. See what's going on. You might be surprised. And listen, don't forget, you heard it here on Real Conversation. So I guess that is it for that. Nicole, do you have anything else to add?
I mean, we spoke about this young man giving women HIV. We spoke about this T app. Just be really safe out there, guys. When it comes to who you're, bringing into your life, bringing into your children's lives. I was like, because right now, everything is not black and white the way it used to be. Okay, the dating scene is just weird right now,
for lack of a better word.
So just be safe out there. Just take care of yourself. It is okay to be by yourself. There is nothing wrong with being by yourself until that right person comes into your life. Don't settle. Okay, it is like you're wasting your time when you settle. And when you settle for a person that you don't want, that means God is not going to bring the person who's supposed to be sitting in that person's chair. That person is sitting in their chair, just so you know. So
they're placeholder.
There you go.
Yeah, they're placeholder. Everything that she said, I agree with it. When it comes to dating, it's not. This is nothing to, make you afraid or anything like that, for you to even pull back. They're just, something that tells you to take precaution when you're out here dating. It's murky out here. That sometimes something's not clean in the milk. Something in the milk ain't clean. So you got to make sure that whoever you're dating, it's okay. You can move on with this person. So that means checking their sexual health first and foremost. Mental health second, because child. And then and then just kind of taking your time and getting to know that person, whether it's be on a physical level or even on a mental and spiritual level. Make sure that that person is equally yoked with you. And if you see any red flags, please, just take that for what they are. Like, take that for face value and make like a baby and head out first, because that red flag can turn into that one red flag can turn into 5 red flags, and it's like now you're in deep. So take it from me. Trust me. I do not speak from anything but experience. Take those red flags and take them to heart. Take them, put them on your chest and say, you know what? All right, I got to go. We out of here and move. So, the T app, dating safety, great tools to protect women. They will make it out to be something that is not good, because there are going to be some people that misuse the app. But for the most part, it's there to provide information and protection and safety tools. So, All right. Well, thank you all for watching Real Conversation. My name is Connor Terry, and I am your host.
And I am Nicole Jones. I am your other host.
And you can find us here on YouTube and on Facebook Live. We have started to broadcast on both platforms. So it's real_combos_podcast on YouTube, and it broadcasts live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Nicole, where can they find us on Facebook?
We are on Real Conversations 2021 and as Real Conversation as well.
Yeah, all right. So once again, thank you for that, Nicole. We thank you so much for watching, and God bless.